Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting and in-demand roles in cybersecurity, cyber testing, also known as penetration testing. If you've ever wondered how hackers think, how companies find vulnerabilities before attackers do, or how to build a career in offensive security, this episode is for you.
Absolutely. And what makes today's discussion special is that we're not just talking theory, we're breaking down a real job role, qualifications, responsibilities, tools, mindset, certifications, and what it actually feels like working as a penetration tester in the industry.
So, whether you're a student, a working professional, or someone planning a career switch into cybersecurity, stick around till the end. This will be a full roadmap.
Let's start with the basics. Cyber testing, or penetration testing, is essentially the practice of legally hacking systems to identify vulnerabilities before malicious hackers do.
Exactly. Think of it as a simulated cyber attack. Organizations invite penetration testers to break into their applications, networks, cloud infrastructure, or APIs, and then report everything they find.
And this isn't just about running tools. A big misconception is that pen testing is just clicking buttons in Burp Suite or running scanners.
Right. Real penetration testing is about thinking like an attacker, chaining vulnerabilities, understanding business logic flaws, and exploiting weaknesses creatively.
Now let's talk about the qualifications mentioned in this role. First, a BTech in computer science, engineering, or equivalent experience.
And this is important, or equivalent experience. Cybersecurity is one of those fields where skills matter more than degrees. Exactly. If you understand networking, operating systems, web applications, and security fundamentals, you can enter this field even without a traditional degree.
Next big requirement, expert knowledge in web security. This means deep understanding of vulnerabilities like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, XSS, CSRF, authentication and authorization flaws, insecure direct object references, business logic vulnerabilities.
And not just knowing definitions, but knowing how to exploit them, how they occur in real applications, and how to fix them.
The job mentions 5+ years of experience in code review, application security testing, or web development.
This makes sense because great penetration testers usually come from development or infrastructure backgrounds.
If you've written code, deployed applications, worked with APIs, or managed servers, you understand how systems fail.
And code review experience is huge. Being able to spot insecure patterns in Java, Python, JavaScript, or backend logic gives you an edge.
Let's talk about scripting. The role expects strong scripting skills in Python, Ruby, or Perl.
Python is the king here. Most pen testers use Python for writing custom exploits, automating scans, parsing results, creating proof-of-concept scripts.
And scripting isn't optional anymore. Manual testing plus automation is the winning combo.
Then we have development technologies: Java, Python, React, JavaScript, REST, GraphQL, JSON.
If you don't understand how APIs work, you'll miss half the vulnerabilities in modern applications.
Cloud and DevOps security.
Cloud knowledge, especially AWS, is now mandatory.
Yes, because applications are no longer hosted on single servers. We're talking about S3 misconfigurations, IAM privilege escalation, insecure Lambda functions, exposed APIs, Terraform misconfigurations.
And tools like Docker, CDK, Terraform mean infrastructure is written as code, which means security issues are written as code.
SAST versus DAST explained.
One important requirement here is experience with SAST and DAST.
SAST, Static Application Security Testing, analyzes code without running it.
DAST, Dynamic Application Security Testing, tests the application while it's running.
But tools alone are not enough. False positives, missed vulnerabilities, that's where manual testing comes in. Responsibilities, day-to-day work.
Now let's talk about what a penetration tester actually does daily.
First, security assessments. That includes planning, scoping, testing, and reporting.
Then manual penetration testing on web applications, network devices, APIs, cloud infrastructure.
Another big responsibility is client collaboration. You're constantly talking to developers, managers, and security teams, which is why communication skills are critical. You must explain technical issues in simple business language.
Reporting and management communication.
Finding a vulnerability is only 50% of the job.
The other 50% is documenting it clearly. Impact, reproduction steps, screenshots, and remediation.
Senior management doesn't want technical jargon. They want risk level, business impact, fixed priority.
Certifications and career growth.
Let's talk certifications: OSCP, OSWE, OSWA, Burp Suite, AWS Security.
OSCP is still the gold standard for hands-on penetration testing.
OSWE is excellent for web security specialists.
Certifications won't replace skills, but they validate your expertise.
Integrity, ethics, and teamwork.
One underrated requirement is integrity and confidentiality.
You're trusted with sensitive data, source code, and production systems.
Ethics define a real penetration tester. Without ethics, skill becomes dangerous.
And teamwork matters. You'll mentor juniors, manage engagements, and guide teams. So, to sum it up, penetration testing is not just hacking. It's a blend of technology, mindset, ethics, and communication.
If you're willing to keep learning, breaking things responsibly, and helping organizations stay secure, this career is incredibly rewarding.
Let's now talk about something people rarely explain: how a real penetration testing engagement actually starts in a company.
Yes, because beginners think you just open Burp Suite and start hacking. That's not how it works in real life.
The first step is scoping. Before touching anything, you define what is allowed and what is not.
Exactly. For example, which domains are in scope? Which IP ranges? Are production systems allowed? Are denial of service attacks allowed or not?
And this is critical because testing something outside scope can create serious legal problems.
This is where professionalism separates ethical hackers from illegal hackers.
Once scope is clear, the real fun begins: reconnaissance.
Honestly, recon is where 60 to 70% of vulnerabilities are found.
Absolutely. Subdomain enumeration, tech stack identification, API discovery, all before touching exploitation.
And good recon is silent. You're learning how the application is built: frameworks, auth flows, API endpoints, error handling.
This is where development knowledge really helps. Let's clear another myth: tools don't make you a penetration tester.
Yes, tools assist, but manual testing finds the real bugs.
Automated scanners are good for low-hanging vulnerabilities, baseline security checks.
But business logic flaws, privilege escalation, chained attacks, those require human thinking.
That's why experienced pen testers spend more time thinking than clicking. Let's talk about real vulnerabilities found in production apps.
One classic example: broken authorization.
Like changing a user ID in an API request and suddenly accessing another user's data.
Or admin endpoints hidden only by front-end logic.
Another big one: insecure file uploads.
Yes, developers validate file extension but not content, leading to remote code execution.
And these bugs still exist in 2026 because security basics are often ignored. Modern applications rely heavily on APIs and GraphQL.
And many pen testers struggle here because APIs don't have UI feedback.
Exactly. You need to understand authentication tokens, rate limiting, input validation, and object-level authorization. GraphQL introduces its own risks: introspection abuse, nested queries, excessive data exposure.
Which is why API security skills are now mandatory for this role.
Cloud security is another massive area mentioned in this job role.
Let's talk AWS. Most breaches today are due to misconfigurations, not 0 days.
Public S3 buckets, over-permissive IAM roles, exposed credentials in code repos.
And attackers love cloud because one mistake can expose entire environments.
A good pen tester understands both attack paths and defense mechanisms. Now let's talk about reporting, turning findings into impact.
Now, let's talk about reporting, the most painful part for many testers.
Yes, but also the most important.
A vulnerability without a clear report is useless.
A good report includes a clear title, risk severity, business impact, step-by-step reproduction, screenshots or logs, and remediation guidance.
And remember, your audience is not just developers, it's management too.
This role specifically mentions communicating with senior management.
Which means you must translate tech into business language.
Instead of saying SQL injection, say, this could allow attackers to steal customer data.
Executives care about financial risk, reputation damage, compliance impact.
That communication skill often determines promotions. Let's help viewers preparing for interviews.
Most interviews test web security fundamentals, OWASP top 10, real attack scenarios, how you think, not what tools you know.
They might ask, how would you test authentication? How do you approach a black box test? And always explain your methodology step by step. Let's talk mistakes.
First mistake, focusing only on tools.
Second, skipping fundamentals like networking and HTTP.
Third, ignoring reporting and documentation.
And the biggest mistake is trying to rush instead of learning deeply. What does career growth look like in this field?
You can move into senior penetration tester, security architect, red team lead, cloud security specialist.
Some move into management, others stay technical. Both are valid.
With AI and automation rising, human creativity and security will become even more valuable.
Let's talk about what a normal day actually looks like for a senior penetration tester, because people imagine constant hacking, but reality is more structured.
True. Most days start with reviewing emails, scope documents, and client updates.
You might begin by reviewing findings from the previous day, screenshots, notes, request logs.
And seniors also review junior testers' work, checking accuracy and false positives.
So the role becomes part testing, part mentoring, part quality control.
Before touching tools, good pen testers do threat modeling.
Exactly. You ask, what are the most valuable assets? Who are the attackers? What are likely attack paths?
Threat modeling saves time and leads to deeper findings.
It's about strategy, not randomness.
Advanced authentication in session attacks.
Yes, improper password reset flows, token reuse, session fixation.
Many apps implement MFA incorrectly.
And session handling mistakes often lead to account takeover.
These issues are high impact and highly valued in reports. Authorization and privilege escalation.
Because attackers are already inside, they just want more power.
Horizontal and vertical privilege escalation are extremely common.
And most automated tools fail to detect these.
Infrastructure and network penetration testing.
This includes testing firewalls, VPNs, internal networks, Active Directory.
Weak passwords and misconfigurations are still the biggest threats.
And once inside, lateral movement becomes the main goal.
Active Directory attacks explained simply.
Misconfigured permissions can lead to domain takeover.
Attacks like credential dumping and privilege escalation are common.
Understanding AD gives pen testers massive leverage.
Red teaming versus penetration testing.
Many people confuse pen testing with red teaming.
Pen testing is scoped and vulnerability focused.
Red teaming is goal-driven. Can you breach us without detection?
Both require different mindsets and skill sets, handling stress, burnout, and mental fatigue.
Let's talk about something rarely discussed, burnout.
Long testing hours, tight deadlines, mental strain.
Seniors learn to pace themselves.
Cybersecurity is a marathon, not a sprint.
Ethics, legal boundaries, and responsible disclosure.
Ethics are non-negotiable in this field.
Testing without permission is illegal.
Responsible disclosure protects everyone involved.
Trust is the foundation of this profession.
Mentoring juniors and leading engagements.
Senior roles involve leadership.
You guide juniors, review findings, manage timelines.
Leadership skills accelerate career growth.
Future of cyber testing and AI impact.
AI is changing security, but not replacing pen testers.
Automation helps, but human creativity still wins.
Understanding AI systems will become a new attack surface. One aspect people rarely talk about is collaboration with blue teams and SOC analysts.
Yes, pen testers aren't enemies of defenders, they're partners.
During internal tests, you'll often work closely with SOC teams to validate detection capabilities.
Sometimes the goal isn't just finding vulnerabilities, but seeing whether attacks are detected at all.
That's when purple teaming comes into play, offense and defense working together.
Logging, monitoring, and detection gaps.
One shocking realization for many companies is how poor their logging is. Exactly. You exploit something and nobody notices.
As pen testers, we often highlight detection gaps, no alerts, delayed response, incomplete logs.
This feedback helps organizations improve security maturity.
Incident response, where pen testing helps.
Pen testing experience directly helps incident response teams.
because you understand attacker behavior.
You know how attackers pivot, hide traces, and escalate access.
Many senior pen testers eventually move into IR or DFIR roles.
Secure development and DevSecOps influence,
This job role also mentions promoting secure development.
which means pen testers don't just break things, they teach developers.
Secure code reviews, threat modeling workshops, CI/CD security integration.
This is where DevSecOps becomes real, not just a buzzword.
Code review in depth, what pen testers look for.
Pen testers look for patterns, insecure deserialization, improper input handling, weak crypto.
Hard-coded secrets, debug flags, unsafe dependencies.
Code review often finds vulnerabilities before production deployment.
Supply chain and third-party risk,
Modern applications rely heavily on third-party libraries and services.
which introduces supply chain risks.
A single vulnerable dependency can compromise an entire system.
Pen testers now assess vendor risk as part of engagements.
Compliance versus real security.
Let's address a controversial topic, compliance.
Being compliant doesn't mean being secure.
We've seen fully compliant systems with critical vulnerabilities.
Pen testing focuses on real attacker impact, not checklist security.
Not all clients love pen testers.
Some see findings as criticism.
A big skill is presenting issues without blaming teams.
Professionalism and empathy go a long way. Not all vulnerabilities are equal.
Pen testers help prioritize fixes based on exploitability and impact.
This helps organizations use resources effectively.
Explaining security to non-technical people is an art.
Analogies work better than technical terms.
This skill accelerates leadership growth.
Many pen testers eventually move into leadership roles.
Lead roles require planning, mentoring, and strategy.
Technical depth plus communication equals influence.
Trust leads to repeat engagements.
Clients value honesty over exaggerated findings.
Credibility is everything in security consulting.
Now let's talk about enterprise environments, because pen testing at scale is a completely different challenge.
Yes, in startups, you might test one app. In enterprises, you're dealing with hundreds of applications, legacy systems, and multiple business units.
And many of those systems were built 10 to 15 years ago, long before modern security practices existed.
Which means authentication systems, APIs, and network segmentation are often inconsistent.
This complexity is exactly what attackers exploit.
One of the most valuable skills is attack chaining.
Individually, some bugs look harmless.
But when combined, they become critical.
For example, information disclosure leads to credential exposure, which leads to privilege escalation, which leads to data exfiltration.
This is where creativity matters more than tools.
Zero trust is everywhere now, but many implementations are flawed.
Yes, companies say never trust, always verify, but then grant overly broad permissions.
Pen testers test zero trust assumptions.
And often find trust boundaries that don't exist in practice.
Let's talk cloud-native attacks.
Containers and Kubernetes add new attack surfaces.
Misconfigured containers, exposed dashboards, overly permissive service accounts.
And attackers love metadata services in cloud environments.
Understanding cloud internals is now mandatory.
Internal pen testing simulates what happens after an attacker gets in.
Or what a malicious insider could do.
Weak internal controls often lead to full compromise.
This is uncomfortable but necessary testing.
Let's talk about the consulting side.
Pen testers work under time constraints and billing models.
You must balance depth with deadlines.
Good planning separates great consultants from average ones.
Pen testers often interact with legal and risk teams.
Language matters here.
You must be precise, factual, and calm.
Poor wording can create unnecessary panic.
Some organizations experience vulnerability fatigue.
Too many findings, too few resources.
Pen testers help prioritize, not overwhelm.
Security is a journey, not a one-time fix.
How do you stay relevant in this field for decades?
By continuously learning and adapting.
Security fundamentals never change, but technologies do.
Burnout management, curiosity, and ethics sustain long careers. Let's talk about something very real: penetration tests that don't go as planned.
Yes, because not every engagement ends with critical findings and success stories.
Sometimes scope is unclear, access is limited, or systems are unstable.
And sometimes the environment is so locked down that exploitation is genuinely difficult.
But even failed exploitation attempts teach valuable lessons.
Exactly. A good pen tester documents what didn't work and why.
One of the fastest ways to lose credibility is reporting false positives.
Absolutely. Confidence must be backed by proof.
At the same time, false negatives are dangerous too.
That's why validation is critical. Never trust tools blindly.
senior pen testers double-check everything before reporting. Let's talk about decision-making.
Time is always limited in consulting engagements.
You must constantly decide, do I go deeper here or move to another attack surface?
This judgment comes only with experience.
Great pen testers maximize impact, not scan everything.
Business logic flaws are still the hardest vulnerabilities to detect.
Yes, things like abuse of workflows, race conditions, and logic bypasses.
These require understanding how the business actually works.
Which is why talking to stakeholders matters.
Security without context is incomplete.
This is a common situation, developers pushing back.
They might say, this is expected behavior.
Or this can't be exploited.
A professional pen tester stays calm and evidence-driven.
The goal is improvement, not winning arguments.
Retesting is often overlooked.
Yes, security improvement should be measurable.
Good organizations track vulnerability trends over time.
Pen testers help measure maturity, not just flaws.
Sometimes, clients ask for things that cross ethical boundaries,
Like testing without proper authorization.
or accessing data unnecessarily.
A true professional knows when to say no.
Ethics protect your career long-term.
Knowledge gaps and continuous learning.
Even senior pen testers don't know everything.
Technology changes constantly.
Admitting knowledge gaps is a strength, not weakness.
Learning is part of the job description.
Let's talk about mindset.
Top pen testers think in mental models, not tools.
They see systems as flows, trust boundaries, and assumptions.
Breaking assumptions leads to breakthroughs.
Storytelling is powerful in security.
Explaining findings as attack stories improves understanding.
Executives remember stories, not CVE numbers.
This skill elevates careers. Let's zoom out.
Good pen testing protects users who never know your name.
It prevents breaches before headlines.
That invisible impact is meaningful.
At advanced levels, penetration testing stops being about vulnerabilities and starts being about human thinking.
Exactly. Attackers don't think in CVEs. They think in outcomes.
They ask, what do I want? Data, money, access, persistence?
And then they work backwards.
That's why threat modeling is psychological as much as technical.
Some of the worst breaches came from false trust assumptions,
Like assuming internal traffic is safe.
or assuming a service account would never be abused.
Pen testers specialize in breaking assumptions.
Every assumption is a potential attack vector,
Some systems look perfect in architecture diagrams.
but reality is messy.
Temporary fixes become permanent.
Exceptions become the rule.
Pen testing reveals the difference between design and reality.
Advanced pen testing often finds rare attack paths,
Paths that require deep understanding and patience.
race conditions, timing issues, asynchronous logic flaws.
These bugs don't show up in scanners.
Attackers don't always want immediate impact.
Sometimes they want to stay hidden.
Persistence mechanisms are fascinating and dangerous.
Pen testers test whether long-term compromise is possible.
Security failures are often human failures.
Fatigue, complacency, incentives misaligned.
Pen testers observe organizational psychology.
Security culture matters more than tools.
Best practices assume ideal conditions.
Reality is never ideal.
Time pressure, legacy systems, human shortcuts.
Pen testing shows where theory breaks.
Counting vulnerabilities doesn't measure security.
Resilience does.
Detection, response, recovery.
Pen testers help measure resilience.
Senior technical roles can be lonely.
Few peers at the same depth.
High expectations, low tolerance for mistakes.
Mental health matters in this field.
Eventually, seniors become teachers.
Mentorship multiplies impact.
Knowledge shared improves the entire ecosystem. Despite AI and automation, this career remains critical.
Attackers adapt faster than checklists.
Human judgment is irreplaceable.
Penetration testing protects society quietly.
Let's start with the big picture. Why does this cyber testing or penetration testing role even exist today?
Because every company today is a technology company, whether they admit it or not.
Banks, healthcare, e-commerce, SaaS, fintech all run on applications, APIs, and cloud infrastructure.
And wherever there's software, there are vulnerabilities.
This role exists because companies can't afford breaches anymore, financially or reputationally.
That's why penetration testers are seen as risk reducers, not just hackers.
Let's break down the job description in plain English, line by line.
Perform security assessment, including static and dynamic testing.
That means you review code, SAST, and test running applications, DAST.
Conduct manual penetration testing on web applications, network devices, and systems.
Manual is key. You're expected to think, not just scan.
Collaborate with clients across cloud platforms and development technologies.
This means you'll work with AWS, Docker, APIs, Java, React, real production systems.
So this is not an entry-level clicking job. It's a thinking-intensive role.
Now let's talk about where these jobs actually exist.
First, cybersecurity consulting firms.
These companies do pen testing for multiple clients.
Second, large enterprises with in-house security teams.
Banks, MNCs, fintech, cloud providers.
Third, product companies building SaaS platforms.
And fourth, government and regulated sectors. This is where things get exciting, career growth.
You usually start as application security engineer, junior penetration tester, security analyst.
Then grow into senior penetration tester, red team engineer, cloud security specialist.
Later roles include security architect, principal security engineer, head of offensive security.
And salaries grow significantly with experience.
Let's be honest, this job is not for everyone.
You should apply if you enjoy breaking systems logically, like deep technical learning, are patient and detail-oriented.
You should not apply if you hate documentation, avoid learning new tech, or want quick results without effort.
Cyber testing rewards long-term thinkers. Based on the description, let's list must-have skills.
1. Strong web security fundamentals, OWASP Top 10.
2. One scripting language, Python preferred.
3. Understanding of APIs, REST, JSON, GraphQL.
4. Cloud basics, AWS IAM, S3, networking. 5. Communication and reporting skills.
Certifications help, but skills matter more.
The job mentions OSCP, OSWE, burp, and AWS security.
Think of certifications as proof, not preparation.
OSCP, hands-on mindset. OSWE, advanced web security. AWS security, cloud trust.
Don't chase certificates blindly. Build skills first.
Now, this part is extremely important: how to apply for this job properly.
Let's explain this exactly like we would in a YouTube description box.
Step 1. Build a focused resume.
Your resume must show web security experience, tools you've actually used, projects, labs, or bug bounties.
Avoid generic resumes. Customize for security roles.
Step 2. Build proof of skills.
Companies trust proof, not claims.
Proof can be GitHub security scripts, write-ups of labs, CTF participation, bug bounty reports, even private.
Step 3. Where to apply.
Apply on company career pages, LinkedIn jobs, security-focused job boards.
And also network. Referrals matter a lot.
Step 4. How to apply smartly.
Don't mass apply blindly.
Read the job description and match your skills clearly.
Tailor your resume keywords: web security, AWS, SAST or DAST, manual testing.
Step 5. Interview preparation.
Prepare for OWASP scenarios, how you test apps, how you report findings.
Explain your thinking. Interviewers value mindset.
Let's be honest, many applications fail.
Common reasons? No real hands-on experience. Tool-only knowledge. Poor communication. Over-claiming skills.
Authenticity beats exaggeration. Cyber testing rewards long-term thinkers.
Keep learning, stay ethical, stay curious.
Your reputation matters more than speed. This role gives you rare visibility into real systems. Respect that responsibility.
Now let's talk opportunity. This is very important.
This role can lead to senior penetration tester, red team engineer, security architect, and cloud security lead.
It also opens doors globally because penetration testing skills are universal.
This role strengthens both technical depth and leadership visibility.
You should apply if you have real pen testing experience. You understand web and cloud security. You can explain vulnerabilities clearly.
You should not apply if you only know tools, not fundamentals. You avoid documentation. You exaggerate skills.
Honesty is critical in security careers.
Now let's talk about how to apply correctly.
We'll say this exactly how you'd see it in a YouTube description box.
You can apply through LinkedIn using this official job link in video description.
This link takes you directly to the job posting.
Before clicking apply,
Update your LinkedIn profile. Security-focused headline, clear experience section, real projects mentioned.
your LinkedIn profile acts as your first resume.
Your resume should highlight web application security, manual pen testing, cloud and AWS exposure, SAST and DAST experience.
Avoid generic resumes. Tailor it for this role.
Click the Apply button on the job page.
Attach your updated resume.
If there's a note or cover letter option, briefly explain your pen testing experience, why you fit this role.
Don't wait passively.
Connect with security professionals from the company.
Prepare for technical interviews immediately.
Interview questions will focus on OWASP vulnerabilities, real attack scenarios, how you test applications, reporting, and communication.
Explain your thinking step by step.
They care more about how you think than tool names.
This role is a serious responsibility.
You'll handle sensitive systems and data.
Integrity, confidentiality, and ethics are non-negotiable.
If you're ready for that responsibility, this is a powerful opportunity.
So now you know everything: the role, expectations, opportunities, and how to apply.
If this conversation helped you understand the job better, like, share, and subscribe.
You'll find the apply link in the description box.
Prepare well, apply honestly, and keep learning.
Best of luck. Stay ethical, stay skilled, and build real security.